Question from Cameron. Is it being a lighter framed individual, more optimal for racing dirt bikes? Stu Baylor is a big fella, but is still quite fast in the woods. Seems to be a trend that majority of MX guys are smaller. I think that's changing a bit. You would have seen that in like the Stewart era and the Carmichael era. Those guys had similar builds. Even Reed was maybe slightly taller, but still similar build. Slow twitch muscles. Stewart was what? Was he 5'6"? 5'8"? Carmichael 5'7", 5'8", 5'6", something like that. Pretty short. Now, I don't think Amart's short, but definitely pretty short. I think nowadays you see Sexton, you see Jet, probably closer to my height, 5'11" to maybe close to 6 feet, and a little heavier. Probably, I'd say Sexton is heavier than Jet. Sexton's got to be in the low 170s or at least high 160s. Jet is probably high 160s, 165 to 168. That's pretty heavy. But that's a sweet spot, I think, for riding a 450. I think it's a little heavy for a 250F, but probably a sweet spot for a 450. Anything beyond that, when you're creeping up 200 plus, things are going to get more difficult. When you're 6'3" and above, things are going to get more difficult. The analogy I use for that is it's like when I went to Pastrana's house and did the pit bike race on stock KLX 110s. That was the most physically demanding thing I've ever done. Now, for some of the other guys, maybe not, because they just like didn't wear gear. They sat down the whole time. Their legs were everywhere. But I was trying to ride with proper technique, which was effective, but it was extremely exhausting because I'm this big dude on a small little bike. It'd be the equivalent to like Benny Bloss, 6'6". I don't know how he does it. Riding his 450. It's like he's riding a pit bike. I'd say at a certain point, there's diminishing returns. It's not impossible, but it might get slightly difficult. Good question. If you guys enjoyed this podcast clip and you want to listen to full episodes, you can do so on Spotify and Apple Music. If you want to send in your own video submission, you can join us in the Moto Academy family inside of the Moto Academy app by just going to themotoacademy.com. That's also where you can sign up for a class. Okay, guys, see you next episode.